Alright, how's it going guys? Alpha YGO back at it again, and today I got you guys a nice dino profile, Lost World Dinos to be exact, and it's one of my, my personal favorites for rogue contenders out there. Without further ado, let's just get right into it. So we're starting with 3 Oviraptor, basically the Stratos and the Armageddon Knight of the deck, and just the heart and soul of all our plays. Then we also just play 3 Miscellaneous Saurus. It's like another combo piece in its own, but also a great protection effect. And of course, our numero uno win condition is Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, which, as many people know, just absolutely destroys large boards. Then for one of the bricks is Overtex. Overtex, of course, when dumped will get you the double evolution pill, which just brings you out your previous win condition. But seeing it in hand does suck, but at least with Lost World, you can still destroy it in hand and get the effect off it, so it's not the worst. One Giant Rex, more of a extender, if anything, which amidst our combo will enable us further plays. We're not running an array of kaijus, we're just running 2 Dograns, which are searchable through Oviraptor and various means. Well, mainly the Oviraptor, but we're just sticking with 2 Dinosaur kaijus. We're also running 2 Pankratrops, which is, of course, as you can already tell, this is a going second build, so we're running Pankratrops because we do want to have answers for things like, well, considering Pankratrops is basically an answer to almost everything in the meta, maining 2 is just very convenient. And of course, we got, most builds run 2 babies, but I'm also running 1 baby, but 1 Pteranodon. Petite Pteranodon will turbo out us things like Pankratrops, which is very convenient, but can still allow us for level 4s. But sometimes you want to like have a decision branch of which one you want to use, because sometimes you want to be able to attack with a level 4 lore, and sometimes you just want the usefulness of Pankratrops. So why not? Then we're running 1 Dracula, which happens to be one of the major bricks, but not the end of the world. Then for hand drops, we're running 3 Veiler, 3 Ash, and for me, I'm running 3 Crow because I feel like Crow is a very strong hand drop, perhaps underestimated in some degree at this point in the format, but I still think is quite useful. I'm running it at 3 because I think just bumping up that non-dinosaur count in this deck is pretty useful. Moving on, we have our 3 searches of the deck, which is Fossil Dig, great card obviously, gets you our Oviraptor, gets you our Miscellaneous Saurus, gets us anything we want. Then we have 3 Lost World, a great card for actually against Mystic Mind decks, because you actually have a way of giving them a monster, and in that way you can do whatever you need to do to have an equal amount of monsters with them, which is great. So a little type of innate out to Mystic Mind, which is fantastic, and of course the 2 Terraforms to get us to that. 2 double evolution pill, because 3 is too cloggy, but 2 is just great for getting us easier access to our win condition. And 2 Twin Twister, because we have to respect the back row of this format. And then 1 Foolish Burial for, well, enabling us plays like dumping Oviraptor to get us pill, or we can just dump a non-dinosaur to make pill alive. Moving on to the extra deck, we have our 2 Logias. You don't really need both, but sometimes having both is nice. Honestly, this deck you can run like pretty like almost anything you want, like to the point you can run Extravagance if you really wanted to, but like we're not really running Extravagance in this build. So moving on, we'll just go with Tulpa. Another fantastic rank 4 is like Abyss Dweller. I like Diamondire because sometimes you need a non-dinosaur in your grave, so just making it popping itself in something else and putting the non-dinosaur into grave is pretty good, so that's why I like it. Because you want to go for game or time. This is more for slow game because you can usually get 2 conductors out, and 2 conductors plus this is just beyond game usually. Oh, I should show them this rank 4. I'm showing off like another like plethora of rank 4s because like you can run things like Silent Honor Art. Running high speed Chambara, which is great for Drac Aolo. Just it helps you game with conductor. And we're running also super poly targets in this build because we do side Super Poly because I feel like it's a great answer to a lot of to some of the more threatening things in this format, and it's just like Chimera against Salad because you have Lost Roll Up. Since everything else is like less than 500, his effect is alive to game. Sometimes it's really hard to out those like Thunderboards, so you can just bring this guy out. Fantastic. And same with Orcus. They're running like generic Link 2s like Underclock, like Phoenix, and stuff like that. You can also run things, and I highly suggest running things like Hexastag, because Hexastag is like a generic or fairly generic Link 2, which just gives you a monster that points to piercing damage. So when you make it in your extra monster zone with your Conductor gets piercing when it attacks like multiple defense position monsters. So it's very, very strong. I don't have one at the moment, or I can't find mine actually. So unfortunately, I can't show you that, but I do recommend that card. And that was 13 cards, but like, again, since I don't have the exact cards I want to showcase off to you, you can run things like more generic Link 2, more generic rank 4s like Plan B, Evil Storm Nightmare, Evil Storm Exciton Knight, Cerberus, Castell. You have so many options that you can literally do whatever you want. Moving on to the side deck, to fix our hand traps for certain matchups, we have Lancia for those pesky banishing decks, and it sucks when people side this against us, but we will be prepared for that with the rest of the side deck. But when we face like Thunder and Orcus, we want to be able to see this for the mirror match. 3 draw for stuff like Sky Striker, because I feel like Sky Striker is one of our weaker matchups because it's really hard for us to keep them steamrolling, and it's hard for us, since they can use the Widow Anchor in the battle phase. It's hard for us to, we're safe in the main phase, but not the battle phase. So we really need cards to like stunt their value train. So we have 3 Call by the Graves for when we're forced to go first, or we feel like they've sided in Lancia, so we were protected again during their plays. So all around great card. The 2 Super Polys that I mentioned, the one, well, it's a 1 MST, or it's the 3rd Twin Twister. I just put MST in because, like, why not? But like, this can be a 3rd Twister. And for when we have to go first, I'm putting in Torrential Tribute. Torrential Tribute is because there will be times when you get a token on the field, or you break and you have to set a baby. This is a pseudo starter for your destruction plays. And honestly, being able to destroy monsters in the beginning of people's plays is pretty good, because for example, if Orcus gets 2 monsters out, you blow those 2 monsters up. If they don't have anything else beyond those plays, then they're actually stuck for the most part. Or same thing for a lot of other decks where they're combo oriented, but before they can go off into their initial power play, that if you just end up popping the whole field, then, and at the same time plussing off it because of Baby or Lost World, you can actually plus while they neg. And with that said, guys, I'll see you guys on the other side.